Transport Management System, STMS. So STMS, Transport Management System here. So using the STMS, we can perform the changes from one system to other systems here, right? Suppose in a landscape, so we have the three systems. Suppose like in the landscape means we have the, suppose like if you take the ECC landscape, definitely we should have the separate system for the developments, separate system for the quality testing purpose, separate system for the production systems here. So in a landscape, suppose if the people are performed the changes in the development, the changes, how can we move to the so quality for the testing purpose here, right? Testing unit. Then once the testing is completed, then how can we move to the production unit here? Production unit here. So then here in this case, CTMS, like sorry, STMS will come into the picture here. SAP Transport Management System will come into the picture here. So here the development and the quality and the production. Suppose like we have the three systems in a landscape. Landscape means it contains the three or more systems or two systems. So like that, development, quality, production system here. So where the all the business operations will run from the production systems here. Well, the all the business operations will run from the production systems here, right? So then only so business users will log into the here, they will do the business here. Then suppose if any changes are required in this production system, they will not directly do the changes in the production. Why? Because it will impact the other functionalities in the system. That's why people will do the changes in the development. They will carry forward the changes to the quality via transport request. Via transport, they will move the changes from one to other system. From here to here, they will move the systems here, right? So STMS is the transport mechanism. STMS is the transport mechanism to perform the changes, in the landscape here. So that's the reason we use the STMS. That's the reason we use the STMS in the systems, right? So to perform this configuration, first of all, we need to decide out of these three systems. First of all, we need to decide the domain controller. Domain controller, we have to define it here. Domain controller here. So what is mean by domain controller? We have to define it, right? Means one of the, in out of these three systems, one of the system has to be, it should be domain controller. The domain controller is the, it will contains the configuration of the other systems. Basically, domain controller will control the systems in a landscape. Means this is the main system. The main system will control the other systems in a landscape. Where to move the changes, how to move the changes, from what to move the changes, like that. Domain control will control the changes here. Domain control will control the changes here, control the system landscape, and everything will be controlled here. That will be done. So within the domain systems, so out of these three systems, one system we have to make it as a domain controller. Abbreviation wise, if I talk about the domain controller, it will domain control the systems within the domain. How many systems are there? It will control the, suppose example, suppose we have the main branch, sub branches are there. Suppose like Hyderabad, Chennai, so we have the Bangalore. In this three, one branch we have to make it as a main branch. So this main branch, it will control the all the sub branches. Main branch, it will control the all the sub branches in a landscape here, right? So that will happen. Similarly, the domain controller also, it will control the, so it will control the systems and everything here, right? So that's the main thing of the domain controller. To perform this domain controller configuration, so first of all, any one of the system, you have to make it as a domain controller, right? For that one, you have to go to the 000 client, any one of the user, then STMS is the transaction code to perform the configuration. Then you need to provide the domain underscore SID. From which system you are making as a domain controller, that system SID, you have to give it here, then save it, then automatically the domain controller will be created here. Automatically the domain controller will be created here, right? That is the main thing here, right? So here for that one, so we have the NW1 and ECD systems are there. Out of these three systems, let's make NW1 as a domain controller. In this case, log into the 000 client. Let's see, right? STMS. So let's delete the configuration first here. But because it's already there, let's delete the configuration. Go to the STMS. So here you have to make it as a NW1 as a domain controller. Then domain underscore SID you have to give it. Any system you can make it, but that whatever the system you have to make it as a domain controller. First you need to log into that system with the 000 client. Then you need to provide the domain underscore SID. Then click on the save button. Then while doing this configuration, there is a one user will be created when you are performing this configuration. So there is a one user will be created. User name is called the TMS ADM user. Then two RFC destinations will be created. One is the TMS ADM star and TMS SUP star. And so these two RFC destinations, one job will be created automatically. That is called the RDD IMPDP job. These three will be created automatically when you are doing the domain controller configurations. When you are doing the domain controller configuration, these three will be created here, right? So one is the password. So we need to set the password here. Password of the user. Why? Because user is getting created here, right? So password you created, then domain controller is created. So it's very simple to create the domain controller. You need to log into the system, STMS, give the domain controller naming convention like domain underscore SID. So this is called the domain controller. It will control the systems within the landscape. Okay. So that is the main thing here. Okay. So then once the domain controller you created here, then how to add the next thing is the how to add the remaining systems into the domain controller. First one is the domain controller. Next one is the how to add remaining systems into domain controller here. Domain controller. How to add the remaining systems into the domain controller here. So in this case, what we have to do, how to add the remaining systems into the domain controller. In this case, we need to, so same other systems we have to log in with the 000 client, same DDIC user, then STMS transaction code, then provide the domain underscore, whatever the system you are made as a domain controller, that system SID you have to give it here. So first domain controller you have to create it. Then other systems you have to add into the domain controller. Then you need to log into the 000 DDIC STMS. Then domain underscore NW1. We have to provide it here. NW1. So we have to provide in this case here, right? So that is the main thing here. That is the main thing we have. So that is the main thing here, right? Domain underscore SID. So then, so here NW1 we had made as a domain controller, right? Now ECD system we will add into the ECD. We will add into the domain controller. Then in this case, you have to log into the ECD system. So 000 client, then DDIC, then the password, then STMS, right? So ECD system we have to delete the configuration first because it's already there. Then domain underscore NW1. NW system we are making as a domain controller. First domain controller configuration you have done it. Now ECD system you are adding into the NW1. Then you have to give the NW1 domain ID, unique ID. Then you have to set the password. Same configuration will be created in this system as well. Right. See, system is waiting to be included in the transport domain. So ECD system waiting to be included in the NW1 system, right? So then you have to go to the NW1 system. So STMS transaction code, there is a systems here. You see the ECD system into the here, but the status is here. This is waiting to be included, waiting for the approval here. Just click on the approve button here. Then So include the ECD system into the transport domain. So just click on the yes. So the ECD system will be added. So into the NW1 domain controller here. Yes, the status is active. So which means, so in the NW1, the ECD system is added here. NW1. So ECD system is added into the NW1 domain controller here. So now see, system is waiting, right? Just to refresh here, then that is gone. So ECD system is added into the transport domain is called the here. What is meant by transport domain? Transport domain, it contains the one or more systems. So transport domain controller, it will control the other systems in a landscape here. That's why we have the, so NW1. We have made it as a NW1. Some customers, they will make it as a ECD. Some customers production. So like that, they can make it as a, so domain controller. Same as like, so we can, other systems also we have to add it. But this is in the different operating systems, but let's see whether it will work or not. In this case, we can go to the license is going to STMS. STMS. So then we have to, what we are going to add it to the NW1. Then KP online 1 is the NW1 instance number 00. So then save it. The password, it is asking the password. Then set the password of the this one. Then MCD also, it will be added to the transport domain. Three systems we are adding here, but not sure whether this will be added. Why? Because this is a different operating system. Then that others are the different environment. So, but let's see. So it will create the RFC destinations. It will create the, see here, every system when you are doing the configuration in SM59, it will create the two RFC destinations here. One is the TMS ADM, TMS SUP. So two systems, two RFC, two into two, four RFC destinations are created here. Four are created here, right? That is created. So like this. So like this.
How many systems can we able to add?
Number of systems you can add into the one transport domain. That's, there is no limitation. You can add the multiple n number of systems, 10, 12 SAP systems into the one domain, you can add it. If really there is a need to move the add into the everything, then you can add it. So we added, right? We added into the here. That's what we have done it here. So which systems you are going to add it? You need to log into the 000 client, then DDIC, then you have to perform these changes here. So suppose like production, then again you have to go to the production 000 DDIC STMS, then you need to provide the domain underscore. So common domain name we have to give it. Why? Because here you made NW1 as a domain controller, then you have to give the domain controller SID. Here ECD also you have to provide the domain controller details, and production also you have to provide the domain controller details, you have to provide it here, right? So that is the one thing we have to do, that one, right? That is the, so domain controller configurations we have to perform it, right? So then once the configuration is done, TMS configuration is done, so still is only domain controller configuration. Then how to add the remaining systems into the domain controller means configuration. Then we can configure the transport routes and transport layers. So routes, transport routes. So there are the two types of transport routes are there. So transport routes. What is meant by transport routes here? So they are the two types of transport routes are there. One is the, so consolidation route, and second one is the delivery route. Consolidation route and delivery routes here. So the route between development to quality is called the consolidation route. The route between quality to production is called the delivery route. Simple. The route between development to quality is called the consolidation route. and quality to production is called the delivery route here, right? Finally, we are giving the delivery. So the objects is getting developed here. That's why this is the consolidation, means customization route here. Via this route means road. Via this road, the objects will be moved to the quality system here. Via this road, this will be moved to the here, right? Consolidation and delivery routes here. Okay, that is the main thing here. So then, so here for this configuration also, you have to go to the domain controller, STMS, go to the routes, transport routes here. Here you can perform the configurations here. So let me delete these things. Then you can make it as a configurations here. So this is the routes creation, transport routes. Right here you can go to the configuration, standard configuration. So you have the two systems or three systems. You can make it as a, so either single system, two systems, three systems. So either only two systems, then you can make it three systems. You can create it as here, right? Like that you can develop it here. Also we can add the systems and create the, so we can add the some other virtual systems also here. So this system is not exist, even though we can create as a virtual system here, even though we can create as a virtual system. Virtual, why? Because physically it is not available. That's why just we can create the some dummy systems for testing purpose. We can create as a PRD, something like that. So then go to the transport routes here, then click on the change mode, then go to the configuration, standard configuration, then three systems in a group. So development system, then so we have the NW1, then ECD, so then PRD, three systems, right? Call development, quality, production. That SIDs you have to give it here. Click on the change mode. Then based upon this configuration, whatever you do the configuration here, the developments will happen like this here, right? Suppose example you see. So now, as per this configuration, changes will be developed here. Then it will move to the ECD system. Then here the testing and everything will happen here. Then it will move to the, so production delivery, production unit. Production unit, it will move to the production unit here. Like this, the changes will go to the development, quality, production, like this here. Right? So like this, the changes will go to the in this step here. Right? This is what we can see here. So this is the, so configuration. This is the consolidation route. This is the delivery route here. So they are the layers. They are the two types of layers as well. So transport routes are two types. Then layers also, they are the two types of transport layers here. They are the, so layers, transport. So layers, there are the two types of transport layers here. SAP layer, then so ZSID layer, ZSID layer. ZSID SAP layer means SAP standard objects will go via this, this layer here. Then customization objects, then Z underscore SID, in this layer, customization objects will go here. Customization objects, which means which are developed by the our development team. Whenever the development team developed the one of the customizing object, the customizing object will go via this route to the here, right? But if it is the standard objects, then it will go via this route. But both will go to the one system. But the way of going to the different here. Suppose like if you take the transport road, national highway. If you take the national highway, so they are the on the national highway. Suppose example, let me tell you this example. You can understand simply. So if you go to the national highway, this is the, suppose like Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. They are the three cities. Development, quality, production. So they have done the development here, right? They have done the development here. The changes should go to the Bangalore region here. So then how it will go via road, right? We have the road, right? National highway, you have the road. If you go to the national highway, we have the lanes are there. National highway, we have the lanes. National highway, we have the lanes here, right? In the national highway road, road means route, route means road here. In the road, you have the lanes, maybe 2 lanes or 3 lanes are there here, right? Which means small like two-wheelers or small vehicles, it will go to the 1 lane to the Bangalore region, and high speed heavy vehicles, it will go to the second line. It will go like this. Both will enter into the Bangalore city only, right? But it is the order of going procedure is different here. Why? Because here standard objects, it will go via this lane. Lane means layers. Lane means layers. Route means road. Okay. In the consolidation road, in the road, there are the 2 lanes are there. 2 layers are there. So customization objects will go under the Z underscore SID. The standard objects will go via this lane. Both will go different. Route is different, but the way of they are going to the different procedure, right? The bikers will use the left lane, then the heavy vehicles will use the right lane, but all the intention is should go to the target location only, right? In the national highway transport road. Similarly, once the changes are moved to the here, the developers will test it. Then finally, the changes will move to the production node. Delivery is only one via one delivery route, so it will go to the target. It will go to the target system here. It will go to the target system here. So that's why we have the 2 types of routes and 2 types of layers here. One is the Z underscore SID. Second one is the SAP layer here. Via this lane, the transports will go to the respective production systems here, right? So here you should know about 4 things here. One is the how to configure the domain controller. Then second thing is the how to add the systems into the domain controller. Then the third thing is the transport routes and transport layers. So all these configurations we have to perform in the triple domain control system, 000 DDAC STMS. There you need to perform the all these configurations. All the configurations you have to perform in this way. So these 4 parts are called the TMS configuration. All these 4 parts called the TMS configurations here. Okay. So that is the development, quality, and production. These 4 routes are called the so these 4 are called 4 concepts. Then it's a perfect TMS configuration here. Perfect TMS configuration here. So right, this we have to perform in the 000. Any one of the user you can log in, but STMS is the transaction code to perform this TMS configurations and everything here. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, in real time, in which system we maintain the domain controller?
Any system. That's customer wish. Any system you can maintain as out of the 3 systems, any system you can maintain as a domain controller. It's not perfection like you have to maintain the development, you have to maintain the quality, you have to make the production. So most of the customer, they will go for the production system as a domain controller. Why? Because production system will not be down for multiple times, right? So it will only rare cases. If the domain controller system is down, so the transport functionality will be impacted. Means changes will not be moved to the from here to here, from here to here, it will not go. So that's why from some customers, they will go for the production. Some customers, they will go for the development as a domain controller. It's their wish.
Okay. So for us, like what you will recommend to us, like if we go with the project?
If you go with the project, so production, I will recommend it. So, but don't go blindly with the production. Okay. So that is your case, not my recommendation, your customer recommendations. So customer recommendations. So you have to explain the impact on the domain controller. Like if the domain controller system is down, suppose like NW1, I made it as a domain controller means if the domain controller is down, entire transport functionality will be impacted. Right. So that's why we can make it as a production as a domain controller. Why? Because domain controller with high availability, system will not be down for more times. So that we can make it. So some customers, they will go for the development only. So that's why, so that's their wish actually, either development or production. So most of the customers, they will be in the production only. 90% customers in the development route only. So this one there.
Sir, if we make production as a domain controller, then what is the route for them? Because if we make any changes in development, then only it will goes to quality and production, right?
Yeah.
But if
Any
you make
system you
it
can
a
make it as a
production,
any system you can make it as a domain controller. but changes will go same order: development to quality, production to production.
Okay.
That time this system will manage the changes from the here to here, here to here. If you make it as a
Okay.
quality, this system will make it as a changes from development to quality, quality to production. The route is same, but the responsibilities of the systems are different.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
So either you or me, if you follow, either I have to go to the Hyderabad to Bangalore, Bangalore to Chennai. Okay, this is the road. Either me or you. So that is the same responsibilities, right? Responsibilities are same. But so here I am carrying the object means I will go via this one to this one, this one. If you are carrying, then same route you have to follow. Similarly, this procedure, so we have to follow. So developments, all the developments. Then testing, here testings will happen. Then how the developers are developing here, then how this change will be moved to the quality system means via request. Via request. So they will move to the quality system here. Quality system here.
Sir, here we are maintaining three system landscape, right? Like from dev to quality and production, correct?
Yes,
And we are moving the objects from dev, from the development to testing, then the business area.
right.
Uh, I have a question here, sir. Like, if we have a system, like we have a development system, and in that one we have front end and back end both, and we have quality two system and production two system. Then what? How we can move the TR in that case?
So development one to development two to quality one, quality two, then production. Some customers, they have the N landscape, N plus one, two landscape, dual landscapes. Dual landscapes. In that case, what they will do, suppose like some customers, maybe some, so because all the customer will not go live with the all the countries in the all the stores in the one single go. There are multiple. First, some countries they will go for the live. In that case, so initially their landscape is development one, development two, and so we have the production landscape here. Production is only one. So then some customers, after that, this is the support route. The changes are moving from here to here, then they are moving to here to here. So then that is fine. So three countries, they went on live. So that is running successfully. So this is a support landscape. Why? Because it's already live, right? Then we will call it as the support landscape here. So then remaining countries, they are planning to go for the live. In that case, what they will do parallelly, they will build the one more system development two. Then parallelly, they will build the one more system for development quality two. Then here, so here the support changes will go via this route to the production. Then the project changes will go via this route to the production here. So both will merge into the one system. So that is the reason directly two major changes are going to the production. One is the support landscape. So development support landscape changes are going to the production. In this case, support to project, this is called the project landscape. So then project landscape, dev 2 and quality 2 here. Then changes are also going to the project landscape here. All the two changes are going to the project landscape. Then if you think there is a issue, why? Because this one we are not testing. Both changes are merging into the one production system. We are not testing. That's why some people, they will introduce the regression system in their landscape. Regression system. So that one more system they will build a copy of the regression. So if they are before moving to the production, they will move the changes to the regression. They will observe for some days. If any changes, if anything is impacting in the regression, then only they will move the changes to the production. So this is called the pre-prod. Before moving to the system, regression pre-prod, they will move to the changes here. So this is the perfect landscape. Why? Because here the changes will go to the here support changes, bug fixes, any code corrections, and new implementation work will go this way. So both are parallelly running. Here multiple teams are working on here. Here multiple teams are working on here. So but one production business operations here. So like this, they will utilize this landscape from here to here. They will utilize it here. So either any systems or any configurations, we can perform the same configuration. So in this landscape, one system you have to make it as a domain controller. Then production we can make it as a domain controller. Then in this system you have to add it, this system, in all the systems you have to add into the domain controller. Then you can perform the configurations in this one. You can perform the configurations like this. So that way also we can do that. That is a very complex landscape. This is a very complex landscape. Why? Because all the changes, this route changes, they are moving to the production. So there is a lot of unit testing, multiple tests are required here. Once it is success, then only they will move the changes to the production. What is sandbox means? Sandbox is a playground. Sandbox system is one of the SAP system only. Okay, development, quality, pre-prod. So they like that. We have the training, education systems. How we have sandbox also one of the system where the people will do the development related activities and everything. If you want to ask the question, you can ask here instead of typing.
So sir, lower environment also came under this route.
Low environment means
Lower environments.
lower means what?
Actually, in our project, there are lower environments that HME, HMG like that, and they work on that one as well.
What is the purpose? What is the this HA1 something HA2 systems? What is the
Actually, means for another project, there's a in our project there's a another small project they are working on, and for that they are created that systems.
lower environment means maybe uh, the naming convention I'm aware of, but what purpose
Mm-hmm.
they created in your project? There are the multiple purposes. They will create the lower
Yeah.
environments, which means so development. This is the so production. In between, they will introduce the multiple quality system, then one more education system, one more training systems. So these are the lower environment systems here. So that the training people they will use the training system, education people they will use the education system. So some they want to they are instead of they are directly performing the development changes here, they will perform the changes in the sandbox, so that once they are perfect with the changes, then they will implement in the development. So like that they will plan it their changes. So each system there is a responsibility of using. Quality means the dedicated to use only for testing. Training means it's a new joinees or anyone join the training systems. So like that, lower this all will called as the lower environments. Lower means production is the higher, then remaining all are the lower here. Why? Because production changes are coming from it, but before it reach to the lower environments, then only it will come to the production only. So then if the lower environments are working perfectly fine, then changes we can move to the production. That way we will call it as the this all the systems, non-production system. Normally we will call it as the lower systems or non-prod systems. Why? Because these all are the non-production systems only. Then we will call it as the non-production systems. Okay. Got it? So any questions on this TMS configuration?
Sir,
Uh,
on ZSID and normal SAP, how will the system identify whether it is
System will
standard?
identify it. So you no need to worry about that one. System will take care of that part. System
Okay.
has own coding, internal coding. So if any standard object which you are not changing, then immediately that is considered as standard objects, SAP related thing. It will go to the SAP layer. So if you do some small adjustments or modifications in this program, then that we will call it as the customization. Then customization changes will go via this route. System will take care of that part.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. In my company, we have using development system like front end and back end both. And quality, we have quality one we are using portal, and back end we are using quality. And the same like production, we have two systems. And the STMS configuration in the company is like that, from dev to quality, quality to production. But it is not configured with the portal. quality and production. If I want to do any changes like development area, so I have to do in development, but I'm not able to, move to a request to quality portal. I can able to quality backend, I can able to move the request, but not able to make, in that case, how we can move the request.
Then quality system you have to add into the quality domain controller, means in the portal domain controller, then you have to move the changes. System is you are not able to move, means system not in the not in the TMS list, right? In this list, it's not in this list. Then you have to add the system first in this list. So then changes we can move perform from the development to quality to production like this.
Is there any way like if you have a TR request, I mean TR object, and directly move in the one system?
TR is there directly we can move to the other system
Yeah.
without TMS configuration. You are saying.
Yes. Yes.
You have to
Correct.
manually add that transport files into the buffer, import buffer, and you have to move it. Suppose like manually you have to go to the system, which system you want to move it. Then you have to manually go to that system. Then there is an option to add the PO files and data files, and we can move it manually. That is the manual work is required.
Yes. This is the thing I'm asking you, sir. Like how we can do that.
Manually, that is you have to add it. But the any impact or any correction that customer is the responsible here. Manual changes you are moving, right? That we have to take the risk. So manually adding the files means again you need to log into the development, move the objects to the quality to production, like this you have to go. So that's what here we have to do that one. Okay. So perform the changes, the TMS configurations in the NW1 and ECD. And so tomorrow we'll discuss about how to create the request, how to move the data to the one system to other systems. This we will discuss. Okay.
Sir, do you have a document for that manual import? Like, so we can cross check.
Tomorrow anyhow I will explain, right? Just wait for the tomorrow's class. Why? Because transport request import. So we are going to discuss tomorrow. So that you just wait for that one.
Okay, sir. Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.